The threat of spanking never kept the children from poking through my things. Why should it deter you? It is a ritual, or it describes one at least, practiced by druids of certain esoteric circles. If they be learned and powerful enough, the practitioner of this ritual might slow their aging, extend their life well beyond its natural reach. In greener days, I might have been strong enough to do it. I might be yet, with the right preparations. Oh, you really think I'm pretty? Just a moment while I remember how to bat my eyelashes. Do not look at me like that. I have been content to see the span of my natural years. A privilege far too few in this world can claim. I do not speak of clinging to life for its own sake, I just look back on that life's work and I wonder, is it done? The dead tree plague the world still. The city still falls prey to small minds like Gortash or lost souls like Orin. It is every harper's hope to be a light that drives out darkness. But I've lived long enough to see so many of those lights burn out, while the shadows cling stubbornly on. Knowing that, isn't it our duty to burn on if we can? To fight for as long as we are able?
I'd cling to life forever if it means I could keep Baldur's Gate safe. But time marches me to a different fate.
And if it does? That does not mean you cannot dig your heels in a little.
I wallowed in darkness for too long. If I could extend the time I have left in the light, I think I'd take it.
Perhaps. But if the darkness is really going to swallow everything as you Sharan say, it should at least have to work for its supper.
Immortality is only as good as the life you're living. An eternity of luxury sounds a lot better than an eternity of struggle.
I'd have thought time would dull either. But I suppose I should know better than to argue with an immortal.
You have more in common with my people than you'd think. On the astral plane, our finest knights can live for millennia, and they devote every thought to vanquishing Geich.
Or pleasing their own undying queen, who lives on to serve... what purpose, exactly?
Minsk does not understand the question. You will live forever, Jaheira.
Of course I will, Berserker. And you will sprout soft and golden locks from that shining skull.
Your duty, perhaps. Mine was quite the opposite. Every breath I take, however gratefully, is proof of my dereliction.
Or proof that you plan to fight on, rather than take the easier path.
You're preaching to the doomed choir, ma'am.
You've done more than your share of fighting already, Karlach. If there's one person I would trust to make the most of a longer life, it's you.
To wish to live is natural. But so too is to let go, when the moment arrives.
You see, I should know better than to philosophize in the company of an archdruid. Of course, it is our way. Just as it is Death's way to meet us along the path, gently oblivious to whatever it is we want. I spent most of my life fighting those who tried to escape their end. Gatherick, Irenicus, Sarevok. That is not company I would like to keep. In truth, I had put this ritual from my mind. Until last light. Trapped in that darkness, I turned to my research again. What if I was a little stronger? As fast as I once had been. Then you came and made the question moot. But I kept this, just in case, I told myself. A final resort. Perhaps you were not the savior you seemed. I had learned better than to think of life as some simple tale after all. There is no guarantee of happy endings. or true heroes. I believe that still. But when I look on all that we have achieved since, I wonder perhaps it is not heroes we need. Only people who are willing to try. I do not know what manner of story that makes. But I do know that without an ending, it would be no story at all. So I will accept mine, when and however it comes. As for this city story, well, that is entirely your problem now, Cub. I have no plans to lie down and die. Well, perhaps a little lying down when all of this is done. But I do not plan on going anywhere just yet. And besides, you still have a tadpole in your skull. You are almost certainly going to die first.